Okay, I want to talk about a podcast I haven't talked about before. It's called To the Baha. They had an interesting conversation. They have two ex-NBA players on there. Theo Pinson is one of them. He played for the Dallas Mavericks. I think somebody else too, but Charlie Villanueva is there as well. And I was lucky enough to have Charlie Villanueva on my show when I was starting out. I think it was like my 39th video. Charlie was kind enough to agree to have an interview with me. It's like a 43-minute video. It's about 11 months ago. You can find it on my channel. So take a look at that. Very interesting conversation. But they had a conversation about LeBron James, and they raised 2 points, which I'm going to let you listen to. And Theo raised the point that LeBron James elevated the Cleveland Cavaliers team, especially the 2007 version, for them to reach the San Antonio Spurs in the playoffs. And that team had, it just wasn't supposed to be there. It wasn't good enough. It was all LeBron James and stuff like that. At least that's how he words it. And then Charlie Villanueva also says that LeBron has this unbelievably clean image where he never got in trouble. He's doing all these good things with schools and all that other stuff. And I wanted to show you guys with like real hard factual information how these points of view kind of misrepresent LeBron James' image, because it doesn't really give you the whole context. So I'm going to touch on both points they're going to talk about right now, which I'm going to let you listen to the clip and explain why both of these, in my opinion, are wrong, or at least, you know, the guys saying this stuff might not be aware of what I'm going to share on this video right after. So take a listen to them talking, and I'll be right back kind of answering both points that they're going to touch on.
You said Kobe is 2.
That's what he said.
Bron is 3.
I mean, Kobe is a mirror image of MJ.
He's not in front of Bron, bro. He's not in front of Bron. I'm gonna tell you this.
It's debatable, though. It's not that easy, clear cut.
That's what I'm about to say. It ain't that easy.
It's not that clear cut.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
How many championships Kobe got?
LeBron shouldn't have been in the finals.
How many championships Kobe got?
He got 5.
Okay.
How many Bron got? 3. He got 3. Listen,
No.
LeBron
got 4.
You got 4.
He got 4. LeBron has been able to elevate some, no offense to these players, some bad teams. That team that played the Spurs in the finals, yeah, they got swept. They shouldn't have been there. LeBron elevated them. LeBron James has really, he's, there's no public figure that has been more, he ain't been perfect.
I think he's been perfect.
He's been damn near close to
The
it,
worst
bro.
thing he said is my life is better than yours at the end of the day after he lost in 2011.
Yo, if you, let's break bread real
He's
quick.
about, he's before Kobe,
If
bro.
you think about LeBron's career in totality,
And he's
like,
lived up
thus
to all
far,
the expectations.
bro, he's never gotten in trouble. There's never been no scandal. This dude got schools.
He sees 3 people and still hits a shot.
He's wins championships, has all the numbers, all the accolades, and he's still going at a high level.
High level.
He's 41 this December. Name me another 41-year-old that's still doing the things that LeBron is.
Hey,
Okay, so touching on both points is this. The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2007, getting to the finals was in no way only LeBron James just lifting them up and carrying them there. Now, let me explain. The first 2 rounds of the playoffs that they got through, they played 2 teams. Both of those teams, which were the Washington Wizards and the New Jersey Nets, finished the season with a record of 41-41. Those teams were just shitty teams, to say the least. So they still, I believe, lost 2 games to one of them. But they still got through the first and the second round, and they met the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let me tell you this. The Detroit Pistons, ratings-wise, they were a slightly better team than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Although, Theo doesn't mention anything about the Cleveland Cavaliers that season being 4th in defensive rating in the NBA. They played great defense all season. The Detroit Pistons that year were known as a defensive team, and they were 6th. They were 6th in the NBA, and the Cleveland Cavaliers were better. Of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers were not as offensively well rated as those Detroit Pistons, because I think they were like 16th or 18th in the NBA offensively. But that whole series was really based more on defensive play than actual offensive play. If you look back at those games, look even at just the scores of those games were in the 70s and 80s. It wasn't about the scoring, it was about the defense. But now let me break this down for you, okay? The 07 Cavs were 4th in defensive rating, 18th in offensive rating. 4 players on that team were in double digits in scoring. All players were super young. Their average was like mid-20s. So they had, they were young guys. The 07 Pistons were 7th in defensive rating, 6th in the offensive rating. They had 5 players in double digits in scoring, and average age of top players was early 30s, like 32 or something like that. Now, LeBron James averaged 25.7 points a game in that series. He also averaged 9 rebounds in that series, and he also averaged 8.5 assists in that series. With such a low scoring series, to average 8.5 assists, that's pretty darn good. I'm not going to say it's not. But with the series tied at 2-2, LeBron James exploded for 48 points in the 5th game. Okay? And that's what got them the 3rd win. So, team played great defense. That's why they gave themselves a chance to win, having one great player. But the Pistons won 2 first games at home. Then the Cavs won 2 next games at home. And then the 5th game, Cleveland got lucky because LeBron James had that explosion. He was averaging 25 points a game in that series. He wasn't normally scoring that many points. He had an unbelievable night. Shots were falling. He went up for 48, okay? He had a great night and a great game. Now, Cleveland led the series 3-2 at that point. Now, game 6, LeBron disappeared. LeBron wasn't the guy that got him over the hump. Now, here's my explanation. LeBron shot 23% from the field in game 6. 23%, okay? And he scored 20 points. The only reason the Cavs won game 6 was not the only reason, but the biggest reason was due to Daniel Gibson shooting 78% from the field, scoring 31 points, and shooting 5 of 5 from 3 in 29 minutes of play. And you know how old he was? 20. He was 20 years old. So let me tell you this. Daniel Gibson was not playing good that series at all. First he was averaging only 8 points a game the whole playoffs. In the Pistons series, this was him, okay? Game 1, he was 0 points in 5 minutes, taking 4 shots. He did not score. He missed every single shot he took. Game 2, he had 9 points in 20 minutes, shooting 37%. Game 3, he had a decent game, 9 points in 30 minutes on 50% shooting. Game 4 was a little bit better for him with 21 points. That's a pretty good game in 35 minutes, and he shot 57%. Game 5, when LeBron James exploded for 48 points, Daniel Gibson had 11 points in 30 minutes, shooting 28%. But Game 6, the most important game of the series, where LeBron James just disappeared and was shut down by Detroit, Daniel Gibson scored 31 points in 29 minutes, shooting 78%, 7 of 9 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3-point range. Without Gibson's explosion, which was just out of character for him at that point in his career and overall in his career. I mean, the guy was 20 years old. He had an unbelievable game, and it just happened to be Game 6. Now, without Gibson's explosion and him catching heat, Cavs would most likely not have made the NBA Finals against the Spurs. Simple as that. The Detroit Pistons would have won that series. In the most important game, LeBron actually disappeared with 20 points and 23% shooting. Second thing that Charlie V mentions is that LeBron James has this perfect image, and Theo mentions it as well. And I think that is such a wrong assessment and just repeating the media narrative that I have to mention a couple of things. And we've been, this has been pushed in the media for years that LeBron James is just this squeaky clean image. He never done anything wrong and stuff like that. But people miss so many other signs that he's not this squeaky clean guy that I have to mention a couple of things. Now, LeBron James himself may not have anything on his record that is bad per se, okay? But we have now had a few of his teammates that have played with him say that he is a guy that is fake. One person in public, another in private. One of the guys that recently said it was Russell Westbrook. That's a huge flaw in character by itself, but that's not what this is minor to what I'm just going to mention to you in a second. He has also had multiple of his closest friends and associates involved in PED scandals, illegal sports betting, and stuff like that. Now, Charlie doesn't seem to be aware of any of this stuff because you have to look in deeper than just look at what the media is telling you about somebody. Now, the company you yourself keep reflects on you in part, and these people are as close as you can get to LeBron, being his business partners and managers, trainers, and agent Rich Paul. These guys are the guys I'm going to mention. All these guys are the members of the original Four Horsemen, the closest, best friends of the LeBron James inner circle. So he's talking to them on a daily basis, a couple times a day. These are the closest guys. And now listen to this breakdown. This is the breakdown of what they were involved in, or allegedly involved in. People from the closest direct circle of the king himself. Rich Paul, agent and CEO of Clutch Sports, accused of manipulating player movement and team leverage to benefit LeBron and Clutch clients, faced NCAA backlash over Rich Paul rule and criticism from teams claiming conflicts of interest and unethical recruitment tactics. Second, Maverick Carter, business manager and CEO of Spring Hill Company, admitted under federal investigation for placing millions in illegal bets through offshore sites. Questions raised about insider access to NBA information and gambling ethics given his proximity to LeBron James. When asked if he placed bets on the Lakers while LeBron was there, he said he did not recall. How could you not freaking recall? This was probably in like 2021. He did admit that he bet on NBA games and NFL games. So he bet on the NBA. A guy that's directly connected to LeBron. Another guy, Randy Mims, another member of the Four Horsemen, LeBron's longtime friend and executive administrator, named in the DEA's biogenesis files as having purchased testosterone treatments, reportedly for personal weight loss. Though never charged or accused of supplying athletes, his documented use of banned substances raised eyebrows because of his position inside LeBron's inner circle and the image of clean professionalism they always promote. Another guy, David Alexander, Miami-based trainer linked to LeBron's circle, named also in the 2013 DEA investigation into Biogenesis of America, Florida clinic tied to performance-enhancing drugs. Federal documents alleged he obtained PEDs and referred other clients in exchange for free substances. His name surfaced due to his work with high-profile athletes and connections to Miami Heat, LeBron James, and his family, meaning his wife, specifically training Savannah James. He also is on video admitting he worked with Dwayne Wade and Dwayne Wade mentioned him in his books, thanking him for saving his career. Now, investigators found no direct link or wrongdoing by LeBron himself, but Alexander's involvement added to the cloud of controversy surrounding people close to the king. Just to mention, it is in the interest of the NBA and huge corporations like Nike and others to make sure LeBron's image stays clean to protect their investment in billions of dollars. Do you understand what I'm saying? Another thing I'm going to mention is we have people on video like Nick Wright on video on my channel, himself saying it. He's admitting he does business with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports. Do you think that doesn't influence reporting on LeBron James by him? All the stuff Charlie mentions, I think, is all for LeBron's PR. And I mean, this is from a local newspaper that I'm going to mention now, the Akron Beacon Journal, which describes LeBron James' school like this. By design, the I Promise School, a public school operated in partnership with the LeBron James Family Foundation, serves many of Akron's most vulnerable students. Despite students' challenges, the school has a plethora of resources and high hopes of moving the needle, not just in Akron, but in urban education across the country. That's what it was supposed to be. Now listen to this. But the school has struggled academically and is likely to find itself on the state's priority list of schools performing in the bottom 5%, which would require leaders to develop and implement plans for improvement that would be overseen by the state. Michael Jordan, for example, has also delivered for people creating multiple free health clinics, I believe in Charlotte, North Carolina, and stuff like that, for low-income people to attend. And those clinics help people, and Jordan has constant interest in them. Is controlling that investment. You know, if LeBron James would be involved in this I Promise School, I don't think his results should be in the bottom 5% of schools. I think it's mostly to just have his name on a school. And that's what everybody keeps repeating. Now, LeBron James helped with the school, put his name on it, and that's it. The school's academic results are terrible and speak for themselves. Now, would you consider a school for your child that is terrible academically a good school for them to go to? Now, all this shows to me, you know, all this shows me and enough to have an opinion that LeBron James is not as clean as media portrays him to be, especially looking at his business associates. Many ex-players like Charlie and others don't know or don't seem to know or just don't talk about those facts I just mentioned. And taking into account how close all these people are to LeBron James, it is almost impossible to just give him a pass on every single one of those instances his associates did or were allegedly doing this stuff and were parts of investigations and proven of buying steroids and proven of betting on NBA games. And he just constantly says, I didn't know about it. I mean, every time when he deals with these people on a daily basis, and they're not only his closest friends, but also very involved and close business partners. Now, if you're looking at that and you saw what Theo said and what Charlie said, that doesn't I'm not attacking these guys. I'm just saying they're repeating what the media is repeating. Go into the details. You know, show the whole context. Talk about the whole context. It's not just, you know, flowers and roses for LeBron James, the way he looks and what he does. It's not. But the media doesn't want to touch these stories, and people either don't want to know about them or don't want to talk about them. And I think it's wrong because it misrepresents LeBron James. Simple as that. So let me know what you guys think on this, what I just presented, how I answered these guys. Like I said, you know, Charlie, great guy, agreed to be on my show. If he ever agrees to be on my show again, you know, I'm here. I would love to have him or love to be on their show. That'd be great. But I had to say what I had to say because it's misrepresenting the totality of LeBron James. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you. Peace. Bye.